What's up, guys? So today's video is called "What I Learned About Manifesting from Having an EEG." If you don't know what an EEG is, it's an It's in I got it on the screen because I recorded this once and I fucked it up. An electroencephalogram. That's what an EEG is. It monitors brainwave frequencies. So I got the Muse headband. I got a used version of the Muse. I found it used on eBay in perfect condition. And then I got this app called Mind Monitor. It's the yeah, right there. That costs a little extra money as well, but like $15 on the App Store. But I was inspired to get it because in spiritual practice, sometimes you're like, okay, am I hitting a brick wall? Is there some like biofeedback? I guess can really help. In my mind, that was my thinking behind getting it, was that biofeedback would be very helpful. And I was reading this book called Altered Traits, and they were saying how advanced meditators, they have high gamma brain waves, just as a trait, not as a state. We know that people have altered traits, but altered states. We know that people have altered states, but the book was talking about altered traits. And a trait is something that is there as a constant, not just during meditation, but during waking life when you're not particularly focused on anything or doing a practice of any kind. So, long story short, I don't really. I know that you're always manifesting because everything is a manifestation of mind, but in the strictest sense of intentional manifestation, the way that most people mean it, I don't really do that anymore. It just is not really my focus. But when I got this, I was like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm practicing as well as I can be. So I got this EEG, and I was like, okay, what can I do to get excited about things? Because, long story short, it took me a little bit to figure out, okay, what is gamma? How do I get in gamma? I know how delta feels. Delta feels like, it feels like I'm almost about to fall asleep. My delta is super high, but I have no idea if that's a good thing or if I just have a little ADD. But, it took me a bit to figure out, okay, how can I raise gamma? Like at first it was, I was getting around 20 decibels in gamma, and I was like, okay, how can I raise this? Or no, I think my threshold was like 40 something, and I couldn't get to 45, or it was something like that. And so my goal was like, okay, how do I get to 45? And so from there, I found out that if I don't know what's gonna happen next, like if I go into that I don't know mind, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen next. Anything could happen right now. It takes me into a little bit higher of gamma, so I was able to raise it by either 5 to 10 dB. So I was getting into peaking at like the 50s, and I was like, okay. And this was before I knew anything about. I learned a lot more after. But yeah, gamma is related to the learning mind. So if you're in the I know mind, you're in very low gamma. But when you're in that learning mind, you can get gamma spikes by drum patterns. Like there's shamanic drums that don't follow the 4/4 rhythm pattern or 4/4 timing pattern. And because of that, it'll surprise you, and then it'll spike in gamma because the brain is like, oh, I didn't see that coming, and I'm learning. It takes you into that learning mind. And like in Buddhism, the beginner's mind, or in ACIM, the just the I don't know mind. So, but then I quickly found out that excitement raises gamma a lot more. I was able to peak into like 80s at one point, just in gamma, just by being excited about something. When I first figured that out, I was going like really high because I was like, sorry, never really took a good look at this mic before. I didn't know that it has a little gap right here. Anyways, but yeah, so I went into, in combination with the I don't know mind, and then also just being excited about things. So I would imagine things that I was excited about, and I didn't really remember that, like, I don't know how this was lost upon me, but I didn't really think about it manifesting at all. I was just trying to get into high gamma, and then I would notice that things like one of the things that I was excited about was just like talking to a bunch of people, like just being in not in a community, but like just like being in a big group of people and talking to everybody. I thought that would be fun, and then it happened in like a few days after that. And then when I was there, like I was having a deep conversation with a friend, and I just felt really connected, and I was like, oh, I manifested this. I didn't even, I wasn't even paying attention. And it happened a few other things too, like I ended up manifesting some money on accident. But I used to manifest intentionally a lot more, but it gave me a little insight into what was happening when I was manifesting successfully. I learned that I was in that really excited state of mind, but also for me, stillness is a big part of it too. You can be very centered in that excitement. And I also recognized too that when I was at like peak spiritual practice, gamma, I believe, I might be mistaken on this, but I believe gamma is also associated with peak flow state as well. Not just regular flow state, which I believe is alpha, but it's associated with peak flow state. But it's associated also with a emptiness of mind, because your mind is actually operating so rapidly, I guess, and juggling multiple tasks at once that it feels like it's blank, but it's actually peak performance. Another thing about that too is the gamma is indicative of that aha moment. When you have an aha moment, right before that aha moment, you have a spike in gamma before you solve a problem. So it's really interesting. But I also recognize that when I am practicing and I'm really, really into the practice, I am definitely in gamma. I'm super excited. Everything is very interesting. I'm alert. Getting guidance is way easier as well. So, and then according to Bashar, the channeling state happens around 45 decibels in gamma, 45 to 50 decibels in gamma. So that's just something that I learned, and it was interesting, and I thought I would make a video and share it with the world. I don't really have too much else to share. I have a lot of books that I've read, and so many in fact, that I would probably have to brush up on them to do any more book reviews. If anybody even watches this video, let me know if you think that I should do that. I don't know. Alright, that was it. That was the whole little video. I'm glad that whoever you are joined me.